We're well placed in that location as well to bring back existing space junk. Even if it's as big as a football stadium, we could bring it back.
We got space.
We've got space for space. The type of technologies that we're looking at, autonomous first, AI first. A lot of these spacecraft returns missions are around the medical aspects, cancer research. Why not build our local capability and do the initial R&D aspects quickly? The other aspects are sustainable practices, the eco-friendliness. It's like a constant common denominator that we got to keep asking the same questions, like you're going to build an accommodation, how energy efficient is it? How eco-friendly is it? What's the resources that we are utilizing and so on? The fail fast, fail quick and learn from that is there. But when it comes to millions of dollars,
yes,
you have to be diligent. Some of our partners, they already 3D print their rocket engines. Doesn't take much.
No.
It's 3D printed. Just need a 3D printer. You could participate in a very small way, but still make a huge impact.
I think the key point is that Space Angel as an organisation, very open to collaboration.
Oh, absolutely.
Space Angel respectfully acknowledges the traditional owners and custodians of the lands on which we operate. We honour their enduring connection to country, waters, land, space and community, and we pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We recognise the rich cultural heritage, knowledge and traditions of all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, and are committed to fostering meaningful partnerships that celebrate and preserve their contributions to Australia's story. We would also like to thank the WA Museum, Nullarbor, for allowing us the opportunity to record this podcast in their To the Moon exhibit.
We have spoken a lot about the past in terms of space exploration, and we've talked about the setup of Space Angel. Now it's time to talk about what comes next.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, are there any launches or things taking place soon that you are really excited about?
Yeah, absolutely. So we still have a few steps to go in regards to getting permits and so on. But the highlight is that we are looking at a spacecraft return from the US. So this will be the most anticipated event for us in regards to from the United States to Australia, or United States to space to Australia. So this mission will highlight our commitment to the international collaboration, the access to space, demonstrates our capabilities to handle space missions end to end, and also mark a major milestone in in Australia's growing role in the global space exploration, and also solidifying our reputation as our company as a world-class space service provider. So that's really key. I think one of the other key aspects, which is a side effect, I would call it an outcome of what we are going to do in terms of that mission, is to build the Western Australian capacity and capability building in this sector. So we are focused on building this here company set up for the upstream space activities, satellite development aspects, and then moving towards that, first part of moving towards that rocket launch capability, and even up to spacecraft construction. This really will straight away immediately create sort of local jobs, new technology innovation, and positioning W as a key player. And of course, not to forget our robotic arm coffee maker. That's really, really
very important.
So, that's all those nice things to look forward to as we do this mission. Yeah.
So what are the immediate next steps for Space Angel to achieve its goal?
Raising capital is really important because we need to secure funding for not only this activity, but we also need to secure funding for the next thing to come.
Yep.
And when you talk about infrastructure projects, you need to sort of plan ahead.
Yep.
At least 5 years ahead, in order for you to start looking at sort of procurement and the typical engineering procurement, construction management, EPCM we call it, and that's very common. So funding for these sort of capital projects is also will enhance more customers. We could do one, but if we want to keep doing and expand, we definitely need more capital to expand these operations. There's returns also provides that other aspects that we are looking at in terms of existing space junk. Now that's a huge market where we're talking about spacecraft returns, but what about all those junk? There's an opportunity for us to bring back the larger ones. We're well placed in that location as well to bring back these sort of large type of spacecrafts. Even if it's as big as a football stadium, we could bring it back to that location.
Yeah.
In Nullarbor, we've got a really great
We got
flat land.
space.
We've got space for space. So these are the things that, if you're going to have those kind of aspirations, funding is really important, and then ensuring that all the aspects that's required for those sort of missions, the larger missions, is really important. The next steps that we have is sort of licenses and approvals. Now, license and approvals, depending on the type of activities you're going to take, the type of spacecraft's going to come back, or even launches, it's attached to the type of rockets that you're going to be launching and so on. So therefore, it's a continuing thing. It's a capability that we'll have, and it's necessary in order to ensure that we have all the risk management aspects in place, the technology safeguards in place, and for all sorts of space activities, whether it's Australian law or even international authorities as well, because we're working with the US and we're working with the UK and a whole range of or other countries like India and so on. So we just got to make sure that we need to cover off that, and of course operational readiness. All right. Now, initially we might have hand-holding aspects with our partners, but eventually we will be able to manage this on our own. So therefore, concentrating on these sort of missions, and we don't want to be in a position, and we don't know how this is going to eventuate. We can't predict this, but we want to be in a position where we want continuous re-entry applications or missions that we want to be doing. So we want to ensure that the infrastructure is going to be able to support that spacecraft recovery, returns process, while establishing strong partnerships and reliable service that we're going to be providing either for returns or launch, right? So, but one great thing of the location, especially in UCLA, is that access is quite simple. You could literally take a car out and drive to the location, or you could take a helicopter and land anywhere. It's so flat.
Yes.
It's super flat.
Yes.
So, which is great. Like, it doesn't have a lot of the mountainous terrains and so on. Of course, we have all the mappings of all the things like sites that's sensitive, and we got to make sure that we are working closely with the traditional owners and all those indigenous aspects. So we got to ensure that it's there. But location-wise, we are quite that's something that we are studying. There's specialists who are working on those areas, and we do work with those people who know the land, as well as environmentally as well.
Yep.
And so on. So these are the things that are very, very important, and it's front and center for what we do. But having said that, it's getting ready for day one operations is really key, and that's our immediate focus. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about how people can get involved.
Yeah.
How could an organisation or an individual help with Space Angel's vision?
We want to build a spaceport which is future-looking, spaceports of the future, right? So the type of technologies that we're looking at is probably in the realms of automation first, autonomous first, AI first type of aspects. And why I'm saying that is there's a great test bed for us to be able to do these type of technologies. For example, if I were to say, how nice would it be if I would say that you can fly into our location and then take autonomous cars to our actual spaceport, So you could already see that the type of technologies that I'm talking about, that, and I'm not saying other countries they're already doing autonomous cars already on the road.
WA actually leads the way in autonomous vehicles.
It does. MinRes is already doing some projects up there for autonomous trucks and so on. I'm familiar with that. So you can see it's not for us, it's like, just bring it to the site and we just get it done, right?
Yeah.
But then it's horses for courses as well. Like, it's not technology for the sake of technology. It needs to be successful. It needs to be an attraction and, purposeful. So it's those sort of areas. I think, there's going to be a lot of, technologies that we'll be using, and who's going to maintain the coffee machine, the bot coffee machine that I'm talking about, that needs maintenance and somebody to program it, There's a lot of investment opportunities.
Yep.
So we'll have special purpose vehicles to be able to do that. And then comes the general research and development aspects. Now, a lot of these spacecraft returns missions are around the R&D missions around medical aspects, cancer research. Pharmaceutical companies are really, spending in this current. So instead of them, let's say it's from the US, and instead of them taking it all the way back to the US or even other parts, might be the case in the initial years. But why not build our local capability and do the initial R&D aspects quickly? Because time is very important when it comes to medicine, space. So we can do a lot of that sort of work, the heavy lifting in the initial aspects, and then also do some research on how the spacecraft has actually performed when it comes back. So those sort of research can happen as well. So there's so much that can be done. You can build it up all through the value chain, right? All the way to, we can do everything here. And we got amazing medical research capabilities in Australia.
Yes.
So we could just draw in on all these other, capabilities that we already have, and infrastructure already ready to do this sort of thing. So I think it's only going to be growing. But again, sustainable, the other aspects of sustainable practices, the eco-friendliness, it's a constant, it's like a constant underlying a common denominator that we got to keep asking the same questions. Like, if you're going to build an accommodation, how energy efficient is it? How eco-friendly is it? What's the resources that we are utilizing, and so on. So that's that. Then we have manufacturing and engineering aspects. So my expectation is, like some of our partners, they already 3D print their rocket engines. All I have to do is put in a 3D printer there, and they can print their own rocket engines. Why not?
Fantastic.
Yeah. It doesn't take much.
No.
It's 3D printed. Just need a 3D printer.
Wow.
So that's where the capability is, and you can see where the STEM education will go from here, and where the workforce training will go from here. But it will not be the same. It will change. But it'll be interesting. It'll be better. All the nice buzzwords we talk about is data science, AI, and all these kind of things. We don't want it to be just buzzwords. We want it to be like operational. At the same time, it's, safe operations. So we could provide that place for test beds, and then test it on the ground at the site, and then as we get the confidence, and then slowly bring it to the operations of the spaceport. We will not bring it straight away to operations, but we'll provide those testing grounds, right? So I think that's quite important in terms of all the aspects on how people can get involved and so on. But yeah, that's generally it. Governments, and other stakeholders, institutions that have, and a lot of people have a lot of keen interest in space generally, we find. So they could even do simple things like advocacy, awareness. You could participate in a very small way, but still make a huge impact, right? So I think everyone plays a role when it comes to this industry. And why not? It's exciting. It's a new industry. It's a new sector, very much driven by commercial aspects. It's reachable because of that.
I think the key point is that Space Angel, as an organisation, very open to collaboration.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's also core of what we do. We have other similar capabilities. People are building similar capabilities in other states as well. I think it's very important that we work together.
Yeah.
I always say no one airport is the same. No one airport is the same.
Of course not.
It's about working together. It's very important. And some of the capacity, and hopefully we have at a point that we are busy, that we need to share the capacity with others as well. But we got to be very open and very honest with each other in regards to what can be done and cannot be done. The fail fast, fail quick, and learn from that is there. But when it comes to millions of dollars,
yes,
and a lot of the currently it's a lot of taxpayers' dollars as well. We got to be conscious of that. So you have to be diligent in regards to how you do things.
Yep.
And then we need to audit ourselves. We need to check whatever we're doing, make sure that we're absolutely sure that we're very confident in what we're going to be doing. So the diligence is quite important as well. So I think these are the things that we see in terms of how we progress forward.
Can you tell me a little bit about the other collaborations that you already have going on?
Absolutely. We have a lot of collaborations that's already going on, various different countries, focus on various different areas. I'll start with the US. I think one of the very important collaborations that we have is with the American Chamber of Commerce. They do a fantastic job in terms of sort of getting the US and Australian sort of companies together. And that's been really, really great. And they're quite a large chamber, and they work across the entire state and region as well. So that's really been really, really fantastic. The others, we have, if I were to look at India, both sides, I would say we have collaborations. If I were to talk about the Australian side, I myself wear the hat of the Space and Spatial co-chair for the Australia-India Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
So it's a national interest group, and we have a focus on both upstream and downstream. I look after the upstream side, and my co-chair Zafar, he's very well astute gentleman in this sector, and well received as well, and he looks after a lot of the downstream side of things. But we're also part of the Australia-India Business Council. I'd like to mention the Centre for Australia-India Relations, which is very much under Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Austrade, I have to say, they are super amazing. Whichever country we are dealing with, they are always there, always front and center, helping us.
Amazing.
Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade as well. I have to mention that because of the type of activity that we are doing, every country that we work with, it's very, very key. We're also part of AIBC, Australia-India Business Council. And then comes the sort of Western Australian side of things, if I were to say CCIWA. We are looking to sort of being part of the Spaceport Alliance as well. That's US driven. We are part of Space Industry Association Australia. That's really important. That's the peak body for the space sector in Australia. Am I forgetting? I think the list kind of goes on. We have
a long list.
Oh yeah, but they all play a very critical role to
Sure.
what we are doing, and when we are in market, it's quite important. I like to mention also the role that the state plays, Invest and Trade. Western Australia, they've played a critical role. I think I mentioned to you that I went in a delegation with our current Premier.
Yes.
But also I again went for another delegation to India with our Minister Dawson, who's the Minister for Science, who looks after that portfolio. So I think they also play a very important critical role. So though they are not like the the traditional chambers or those sort of organizations, but I think they play that role quite well. Federally as well, we work with the Space Agency quite closely. They're very approachable. I had a meeting organized for all the key space stakeholders because there was a delegation coming from India.
Yep.
So we had people like Enrico Palermo, who's the head of the Space Agency. We had Mr. Andy Coronius, who's the head of SmartSat CRC, and a long list of all the heads. And then we had Mr. Dr. Vinod from InSpace, which is one of the promotion agency for commercialization in the space sector in India.
Right.
And it's fantastic. So space agency, some of the people on the ground space agency side of things, they've done a fantastic job. They've really helped us. So the kind of people that I had to work with was with Austrade, with space agency stakeholders, with DFET, and a whole range just to get that one meeting happening. Because whenever they are coming on a delegation, they've got a very tight timeline.
Of course.
So we got to.
And there's a lot of moving parts.
Absolutely. So if they are not we are not collaborating, these things won't happen.
Yes.
So even as simple as that, it needs a lot of coordination. So, and we started coordinating when they were already in India, right? So these are the things. So every country, this is the kind of things that we are doing, even though this is not our core job.
Yes.
But it's part and parcel of what needs to be done to enhance that collaboration.
Most importantly, if you want to get involved in the mission of Space Angel, head to their website, spaceangel.io. Also, you can contact Ram directly by email, theforce@spaceangel.io.